Number one, George Herbert Walker Bush. In one room was Edith Jones, the rock-ribbed conservative on the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals who follows the Constitution, who doesn't legislate from the bench. In the other room was David Souter. He chose David Souter because it would be easier. He had never defended conservative principles, so there was nothing to defend. And David Souter turned into a radical liberal judicial activist. And I'll point likewise to George W. Bush. In one room was John Roberts. And in another room was Mike Ludig, my former boss, the strongest conservative appellate judge in the country, someone who had been Antonin Scalia's very first law clerk, who had spent over a decade following the law and Constitution faithfully. And once again, George W. Bush chose the easier decision. John Roberts didn't have a paper trail. You couldn't prove he was a conservative. You know, David, if those two forks in the road, if Edith Jones and Mike Ludig had been put on the court, number one, Obamacare would have been struck down 3 years ago. And number two, the marriage decision, I am certain, would have come out the other way, because those are jurists who would have followed the Constitution and law rather than legislating their own radical agendas from the bench.